Hello, hello! So here we are. Do a little bit of a live stream here. We'll do some live building. I'm going to start by building need a rescue boat. So, a while ago, let's jump in here. If I can find it, there is. A while ago, I built the Vice boat, and so, it's kind of all decorated out for Vice, and so this was kind of my fast rescue boat. I want to build a new fast rescue boat. I don't really have any that currently, so I don't want it to be overly complicated. Let's see what I have, but I have things like Remora, some small stuff, some kind of, I don't have anything that's newish, and so that would be kind of nice to get some newish rescue boats in. So here's some of my really old crap. And so I think we'll start with a new rescue boat, and so this is, let's see. Alright, save this one. Alright, so new rescue boat here. There's one thing we don't have. I'd like to be able to, I'm talking about right now, tactical engineering. I'd like to be able to trailer this potentially, so I don't want it enormous either. Like, pretty good speeds on this, but not insane. I don't want it to be overly complex, potentially. So I'm going to quickly start by looking up some reference material for rescue boats and kind of come up with what I'm, what I'll be interested in, what fulfills kind of the goals, and we'll see what the what inspiration I get from that. So let me just quickly bring that up. Right, so just typed in rescue boats. I'm digging on this kind of design. That's kind of neat. I like that. Enclosed. Pretty good size on that. That's not bad. Just kind of looking around. This is a neat cat. I like the catamaran. I don't have any catamarans really right now for small catamarans. Right, gotta decide the size. I don't want it enormous because I don't want it to take forever. I want to be able to use it reasonably quick. Just kind of see what's in here. What's, yeah, more like that. These types of size and design. I'm kind of digging on that. Yeah, and I don't want to have to do too much detailing. Kind of, Vergeot was kind of like that size, was a very good size. One room. I kind of dig that. That's going to make it reasonable to get me in. Something like that could be good. I like that one. So just getting a little inspiration here. Kind of seeing what shapes and, what features would be good with it. Yeah, so I have some interesting ideas here. Like I said, I would like to trailer it, so it can't be enormous. Don't necessarily need to trailer it. That's not a huge need, but that's a thought I had. I was kind of looking through, seeing what strikes me. Kind of getting some repeating shapes here that I kind of dig. Probably should build it in, I don't know, I should probably build it in the beginner base just because that will, I like to be able to fit in there and spawnable in there. So I might do that. We'll teleport over to the beginner base. So kind of some cool shapes here. Like, I'm digging on this. I like this. Let's look at some of these. These are interesting. So what is this? This is Moose Boats, whatever that site is. So there's some interesting boats in here. Sometimes, it's good to stick with the manufacturer. Nah, I'm not going to do hydrofoil. This is an interesting design. I like this. What is that? Cat? Catamaran? Looks like catamaran. I like this one too. So this manufacturer has some cool designs that I'm digging on. So kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, but you see a bunch of those from this manufacturer is cool. see. Yeah, so these fireboats are kind of cool from Moose. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move to one of the beginner bases. That way, it will fit. You know, because I want to be able to launch it from other bases. So let's go over here. I think I'm gonna do inboard. Not a huge fan of outboards. Yeah, it's just a bunch of work for I don't think much benefit. So got a little bit of inspiration there. We'll start working, see what we can do. All right, let's get we'll cut it one block on either side. All right, let's get a measure. 13.7, so let's do 13.75 divided by 3, so let's say about 4.5 maybe. Beam. Come on, symmetry. Don't you let me down, you. So this should be 2.25. Probably about 2.25. So that's probably about where we want to be for beam. All right. Let's start working on shaping this up. All right. Probably more. Or something like that. Cat would be interesting, but I think I'm going to do monohull. Let's cut you out here. Alright, so there's a little bit. That's, I think, our hull design there is pretty good. Alright. So I want to go up on the rail, probably. I'm gonna have to chop it a little bit, so it's fine. I'll chop this later, but I have to back the whole sucker up here. And then I'll chop the back a little bit. I'm gonna chop the back probably a couple at least here. Get this to fit in there. Need that. Okay. So I probably want 4 on the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. Probably, I would say at least, so. start with that. Let's see what the hell I'm doing here. Screwing something up here. So normally I have a method, and I'm screwing my method up here. So let me go back to my normal method and trying to make it a little bit quicker. I think I'm causing myself more problems doing it this way. Let's do it like this. Because I normally go down, then I fix up, and I think that works better. So I think we'll go like that. Yeah. And then I just have to fix that deck angle, which is, I think, a lot easier than what I was starting with here. So let's go like that. And then it's usually I go 3, and that's probably what's screwing me up here, is not going 3. Yeah, I need to go 3 there, I think. So let's cut all this out. Let's see, what the hell am I doing here? How am I screwing this all up that bad? Yeah, I could do it like this. Alright. Yeah, what the hell am I doing here? Huh. You know, normally I don't have any issues with making hull shapes. I'm having a struggle here, getting this the way I want it. Yeah, it's probably the 1x1s cause me problems. Let's move on with a 1-2 here. Let's make it a little less sharp here. Cut through. We'll go another 1-2 here. I haven't built a boat hull in a little while, so it's screwing me up. out of chat for a little bit. I'm just kind of grooving here with the hull. I want to get this bow fixed up before I start getting too distracted. We'll give this a measure, see what the hull depth is looking like, what draft is currently. That's the draft. Draft there is about, talking about 9 blocks. It's not too bad. A little bit wonky in here, but a little bit wonky in there. Probably could have used another round, but I think we'll be all right. Boat might be getting bigger than I want. We'll have to see. Kind of want to get the hull shaped and then see what this is going to look like space-wise. Probably don't want it to draft this much. Probably want to cut at least 1 off, maybe 2. I'm thinking the draft is getting too deep here. Yeah, definitely think the draft's getting too deep. Might be making this too big. We'll have to see here. I'm kind of not digging it right now. Total, it's going to be... I'm not going to have flat walls here, but I'm kind of just trying to see what the... we're going to be looking like here for size. Might want to make this smaller than what it is right now, so kind of want to see that. I'll check with chat in a second here. I'm just kind of trying to see if I'm going to start over again here. I'm not digging the size. The size is kind of overly large for what I'm looking for, I think. I'm just trying to see spatially what we're looking at here. Come on, man. Not digging the size of it right now. Come on, drag where I want you. There you go. Yeah, I'm thinking this is bigger than I'd like. I'm just kind of finishing up a little bit just to try to, I want to see what this looks like in the world here, so really not digging the size, so let's drop it, see what it looks like size-wise. Yeah, it's bigger than I'd like. Okay. I'm gonna do a new one here. Yeah, I think maybe like that. What do we have length here? 7.5. Okay. Let's do... should be 8 meters now, I think. 8.5. 34. Yeah. Okay. We'll cut one. I want an odd length. All right. So we're talking 8.25. 8.25. Like 2 3/4, something like that. 3.25. Okay, kind of digging that a little bit better. Let me check chat. 9 hot doffs today. It's a lot. Yeah, I try to get it on a little bit earlier. That way Europe and the US can both watch. And if US wants to watch, you know, the recording, they can as well. Hello, XRs. How are you? I'm working on trying to do a small, fast rescue boat, and I want to be able to put it on a trailer. The one I started was just overly large. How's it going there, MCFS? Now, let's see. I'm digging the size better, so with this one I need it to be a little bit more pointy. So we'll go... Okay, it's not bad. Yeah, this is more the size I'm looking for, I think. How wide is this? 13, that's manageable. I can put this on the road. So that's looking better size-wise. Gotta see how this is gonna work or not work here. I don't know why I'm having such an issue hooking things up today. Normally these flow pretty well, and I'm having some struggles getting this the way I want it. There we go. Digging on that. Okay, good. This couldn't be a problem here. I have to check, see what I can do here. That came up not too bad. And where is it? Right there. Okay. Wrong one. There we go. It's gonna be too far down, but I'm gonna have to work on it here in a second. My hulls are kind of sucking today, I'll tell you that. So that's what? 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4 in the front. Have to be 3, I think. Oh, come on, man. Just can't build hulls at all today. Yeah, I'm really not digging my hulls this morning. Wow, they're bad. A hull I can steal that's not going to piss me off. Might go with just a hull I've had. Not digging any of my stuff today. Really not digging these hull shapes. Let's try, I don't know. Not really liking any of these hulls today. Changing the way I build them too, which isn't helpful. It's not really. I hate this. Let's go back. God, I hate it when it does this. You have to like drag a bar to go to. It makes it such a pain to do it. Alright, so I'm going to want, I say, this is a pretty small boat, so let's go like 3 down. So 1, 2, 3, and then we'll expect the deck to be there. So 1, 2, 3, and then the deck will be here. Alright. Maybe we'll stick with sharp. I don't want too sharp, but work on that. Alright, so there's the deck, and then I don't want to go too far down. Trying to keep this on the small side. I want to be able to trailer it, so that's kind of some of the issue I'm having is I want to be able to trailer this sucker, and that is making it a challenge. Because it needs to be small enough to get in there, in and out of there. All right. Let's see. Try to see where we're at here width-wise. That's about 18. Okay, where are we at? 13 is probably the most I want to go. So probably there-ish. So probably, yeah. A little bit sharper than I tend to like. Try to clean up some of this angle here. ability to build a hull is really terrible right now. I don't know what the deal is. It's not grooving with the hull at all today. Like, can't figure out what I want to do here. Yeah, I'm not grooving at all with these hulls. Check chat here really quick. Trying to just grab a pre-made hull or something. I'm just like not finding any design that's really striking me that I'm interested in. Those are old. They're very old. Trying to see what I want to work on. I'm lacking inspiration at the moment to do anything, so I'm trying to like get inspired to build something here. Let's do. Trying to look at some more pictures, get a little bit of inspiration, trying to figure out what I want to do here for a hull. I'm trying to keep this small, which is a challenge. Try a small catamaran would be kind of interesting. I don't know. Really just struggling to get a design that I like here. I think I should embrace the fat a little bit. Because the problem is with it being very small, it's not going to be able to be ultra pointy anyway. So I have to keep that in mind. So I need to get off the pointy kind of earlier. How wide are we there? We're getting there on the width. So. 9. Okay. Need somebody to come up with a challenge. Struggling to figure out what I want to build lately. Be nice to have another challenge. I enjoyed Big Man's challenge, was fun. Nice to have another challenge come up that I could participate in. Come on, man. Drag, drag, drag. Keep dragging, you scum. There we go. That's starting to look a little bit more how I want it. Size-wise, it's pretty good too. So probably go 2 up, another 2 on here, like so. It's hard for me to keep the boat small. I keep wanting to make it bigger and bigger, and I need like, nope, it's gonna be small. So I'll say the deck is there. Alright, so starting to get a little bit more where I want it here. Let's get the transom going. That's going to be the next shaping issue, so we need to work on that. Check chat in a second. I'm just kind of grooving a little bit again. Where's the deck? Deck is here. Alright, so we need to keep that in mind for the transom. We got deck right there. Yep, right there. Look at that. Good guess. Let's see. So I cut the transom in here. Alright. There's a transom in there. Float on it. That's more the size I'm looking for, so let's see. Pretty thin, so I have to, I'll probably do, I don't know. What are we looking at width-wise here? So if I go in there, we'll be 5. So it's a 3 wide, that's not much. Keep that in mind. Probably shrink it a little bit. So let's go. Let's do a length to beam ratio. See what the beam is. Beam is 275. The length is what? 1375. So talking about like 8 1/4 is what we're looking for. So put a shrink in this. So it was 1375. So 5.5. Something like 5.5 to get the proper length of beam ratio. I have to take quite a bit out. So. Let's cut some out and see where we want to be here. I want to keep this small. I don't want to have to do a ton of interior designing here. I want to keep this kind of basic. That's actually not too bad of a size. So we'll add 1 to that. So 10.5. It's not a bad size. A little bit tall. Can't really cut it down because I'm using 2 blocks here. I'd have to cut in 2 to get it kind of rounded out, but it's going to work better in game if it's not ultra round either. But it's awfully tall. Alright. We're probably leaning more towards the center console with this being so narrow. Probably leaning towards center console. Can we chop out 2 and not have this be ridiculous? Probably can. Try to chop out 2 here. See if I can get it to be not ridiculous. Just rescaling it. Really want to be able to put this on the trailer. Can I do that? Let's try something. Let's just see if I can do this. This might work, it might not. Yeah, should be able to do that. All right. There we go. Deck should come up 1 though. It needs to come up 2 though, that's the issue. Because we're running doubles here. I can actually force it up 1. That'll be alright, I can force it up 1. Okay. Yeah, so I can bring it up 1, so. check chat in a second. Just making a little progress on rescaling this a little bit. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Yeah, I've been busy here. I'm gonna read up chat. Guten Tag, der das Chaos. Good morgen. Guten Jaden. How's it going there, Owl? Yeah, it's about it's about 14:30. Bonsoir. Oh, thank you, MCFS Gamer. Congratulations, Niv. Make sure you thank MCSF. Very nice of you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Are you doing the landing craft there, Exorus, for the challenge? I generally build tugboats. I've already built one recently. I'm just trying to do something reasonably quick for rescues. I need a rescue boat. I have many tugboats. I love tugboats. Tugboats are my favorite boat, but I have a bunch of them, so that's why I'm not building another one right now. Yeah, get stuck in the Suez Canal. Thank you again, MCSF Gamer. Oh, lovely. That's nice for citrus. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, a little break against chat. Good, now everybody has the city red stickers. Very nice. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Oh yeah, I'll have to get some more stickers. Oh, that's good. Be good to get home in a couple hours, Owl. Alright, so let's refloat this sucker. So thank you for the subs there, MCFS Gamer. Let me see, we're leaking somewhere here. We got a leak. We've got a leak. We are leaky. Might be just the water phasing through too. Yep, we have a big leak back here. Okay, I need to put the new transom in. Alright, so we're floating alright. Size is better now for what I want to do. I think I'm going to stick center console. So we're going pretty well here. And I'll probably go one up on a rail here. So let's work on a rail. So do a bow rail on here. And I think I'm going to do a flat bow rail. We'll see how flat bow rail looks. Kind of wanting a flat one. We have a lot of shape there. I want to kind of break it up with a little bit of a flat bow rail. Looks a little weird with the way I have that bow going in, but I'll have to fix it. See what I can do with this here. Yeah, see it. Flat bow rail will not look right, so. What are we in the back? Are we 3 high in the back? I want to go 2 high, so let's just do a down area here. I think I'm trying to keep this small, so this will help. There we go. I don't want to get too tall. I just slimmed it. That's pretty good there. All right. So the problem is I was thinking of doing a cabin, but the issue is I need 2 wide is the minimum walk. So I can do, you know, if I can do a 5, but then we only have a 3 in there. That's not terrible. So I'm trying to footprint this up in here. So let's see. Let's get a footprint going here on a little bit of a cabin. Just to make all weather rescues. The other thing is do a walkthrough and do a whole width cabin. That's an option too, so maybe I'll do that. So like something like, well, I know that. And so we need 9 tall, so what's that, 8 more? And it's not going to be this big of a cabin, but actually not too bad shape-wise. That's pretty good there. CG is going to be interesting. Because I don't want that water phasing over the deck, and I want to raise it again. So that's not too bad. Probably cut the cabin a little bit. Just trying to see worst case scenario in the cabin. So I'm liking the front on it. Let's cut it back. Oh, I don't know. Let's go there. Yeah, I think make a smaller cabin will be better. Kind of like to have it all weather. So, you know, it's on the small side, so having it all weather as it is kind of challenging. I didn't plug the hole that I just made there. All right. All right, good. So let's start sculpting up this cabin here. So let's see. Where's my character? So I want a helm. What is this? Okay, that's going up against the helm there. Just grabbing some of this reference material, kind of seeing what's going on here. Alright, good. So I think we're making some progress here. Probably got to chop this cabin again. Kind of want a little bit smaller. That's looking good there. Alright, start working on this. Let's go. And I'll kind of see where the helm's going to be in this. So I think that height is good there. Yep, that's good height. Okay, perfect. I want to put windows right in there, so probably 2 is not the best idea. Check chat in a second, guys. Just kind of making some good progress here. Nice. Starting to make some good shapes that I like here. Oh, come on, man. My erasing skills is quite bad today. I'm digging that shape. What do you guys think? How's that looking? Thank you for the 2 months there, MCFS Gamer. Discord, X-Horus. Let me grab a Discord link. Did somebody post one? Nope, I'll throw a Discord link in there for the challenge. There we go. X-Horus, it's in there. Oh, you found it, okay. Copy that. Just make sure you put in the workshop page as well. No, it's not a tugboat. It's just a rescue boat. Yes, I started doing that before putting in previous rescues, previous winners of challenges. I just have to go and ask people, so that's a good suggestion for subscriber stickers. I'll have to ask some people if they would like theirs to be included. Mr. G has his first build as a mug on. It's not just a mug, but there's some merch for Mr. G's first win on the merch store. But stickers would be good as well. Get out of there. There we go. I like it the way it was before. That's good shape. I like the shaping. It works well for me here, I think. Let's see. Mana. Get rid of how's the hinge? There it is. Oh, symmetry, get out of there, you devil. Rotation problem there. There we go. Let's see how high this is. Probably short, but I need to build it short to pre-build it. Yep. So that's one short. That's kind of what I figured it was going to be. Probably go up one higher in the window. Okay, a little bit of a rear view on that. A little bit of seating area here for the hoi polloi, so that's good. So put some gauging there, and then finish the ceiling up here. Okay, I'm trying to keep this not ultra complicated. I want it to be pretty simple. Over there. Let's put an eyebrow on this. That'll make it a little bit easier for me to put in panelage. So cut you. Put a little eyebrow in there. I think it looks better with an eyebrow most of the time anyways. It looks a little bit more brutal. Alright, so I'm liking the space here. Yeah. Then I want 3s here. Oh, get out of there, you. I'm liking the scale of it. Scale's pretty good. Have to play with it a little bit to get the to float right, but not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. All right, let's work on floating this a little bit better here. Problem is I can't lighten the bottom too much because the top's reasonably heavy, so keep that in mind. What are we on mass? 15. So let's I'm gonna put engines in this anyway, so I need to I'm probably gonna have to add a little float in the bottom because I'm gonna end up massing it up anyway. Give me a challenging size because it's gonna be a little bit of a superstructure. It's heavy. I need to cut the weight down there, and I'm gonna have to add some mass low, which is gonna be engines. Not too shabba-labba. Check some chat. Yeah, I think they need. That's a pass I'd like to see them do. Is some 1x2s would be really nice. 1x2 windows. Yeah, like I had a mental breakdown here with trying to get a hull going on this, you know, in this video. It's just sometimes like it's not clicking, and you kind of have to, you know. I really don't want to make this wider. I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of tricks I can do here. Let's start banging some engines. I need to see mass, where we're at mass-wise. Let's get some props in here. Let's get rudders in. Pretty much do everything as twin screws or, you know, multiple engines. I don't like single engine stuff. Rudders. Perfect on the rudders there. Probably go down one lower, I think. That would help with some of these issues we're going to have with buoyancy and the superstructure being high. So I'm going to probably preempt that a little bit. Hopefully I have enough coffee for another coffee. I'll have to make more. Sounds terrible if I don't. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look out of place being a little bit lower. Protects the props, or protects the rudders. There we go. Liking the shapes. I'm just trying to get some shapes that are working for me that I'm enjoying. Yeah, that floats for me. Not too bad. All right, good. We're gonna fix this center of gravity issue with engines right now. So where's CG? CG's right there. Okay, so let's go start banging some mods. Talking fours, we got fours there. If I do 12 cylinders in these, we'll just do them all the way around. See where these are in relation to there. Okay, good. Up an access port. What are we talking there? 12s? Let's just do this. Let's do flats. What are we up to now? 4s? Okay. Let's do that. Try to keep that mass down. as low as I can get it. Oh, there you are. So, bench. Oh, come on. Click and click, 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 click. There we go. Of course you're angled that way, aren't you? Scoundrel. Let's see. That's fine. We'll go there, and we'll go... Mana. We'll have to do it asymmetrical here. I think, where's in? Let's rethink this a second. I'm gonna end up. That's all right. I'll keep the engines the way they are. Let's see. What are you, in or out? Out. Perfect. That's out. That's what I want. All right. I'll check chat in a second. I'm kind of out of it. Symmetry, you scum. Can't go there because of the wall. Okay, so we're gonna come in from the middle, which is symmetry problem. Okay. Alright, there, guy, there you are. Oh my god. New mouse doesn't want to click sometimes. It's annoying. Alright. There's cooling, dusted. Alright. Alright, check some chat. Like, you don't want it leaning when turning? You don't want it banking when it turns? I put in a stability system. I'm going to end up putting a simple stability system in this here. Alright, we need a little bit of mass work here. So let's put in fuel tanks. That will help. So center of gravity, CG's right there. I really want to get the fuel tanks right on the center of gravity. But I'm not going to be able to, so... That is not ideal to not have the fuel tanks right in the center, but it's not bad. They're not in a terrible spot. Alright, so let's see. We want it ripping there is pretty good. The CG's right there. Perfect. That's about perfect. Alright, balance out just the back of the stern, just a hair. go. That's sitting nicely now. Bingo bango. Yeah, I'll be doing stability on this here in a second. How's it going, Rasmus? Need. Bigger engine's gonna give it. It's gonna allow me to run at a lower RPS and a higher gear ratio. So I should be able to run the gear ratio up. It's better to understress the engines than to overstress the engines. So that is the main reason for that. Oh Christ! All up in the build here. See, so where's fuel gonna go? Let's do this. It'll be a little bit of a... Okay. Let's do manifolds. Symmetry on. Symmetry's on. Beautiful. I keep thinking I'm clicking on things and I don't. I don't know if it's my imagination or what. I think we'll do wet exhaust. I don't know, wet or dry exhaust. I haven't decided yet. Okay, cut you there. Oh, symmetry, come on, man. See, I wish these didn't have such a long pipe on them. I like using these, but I have to, like, ramp them out like that to use them. They're annoying, so I end up using these more. I like that. Air intakes. Oh, why would I desal it? I have no reason to desalinate it, and desalinization takes too long, so it's better just for me not to, or I'd rather not to. Where are we at there? Your props there, okay. Air intakes, and then, let's see. Alrighty. Those are pretty dressed up and moving. Let's check some chat. Yeah, they don't take damage if the temperature is under 100. If the temperature is below 100, they don't take any damage, so I just keep my engines below 100 degrees. And then I don't have to worry about them taking any damage. Is that there? Okay. So do I want to put fuel in on? Right here, maybe? Okay. Oh, wow, it's far back, isn't it? Okay, whatever. Where is it? Right there, right there. Yep, as long as you keep the temperature under 100 degrees, it doesn't cause any sort of scaling. Which makes sense. The whole thing of scaling is it's salt deposits, and so as long as it's liquid, it's going to carry the salt back out. You know, still wouldn't want it IRL, but in game, it's fine. All right, 2,000. Let's just double check a float test here. I put a hole in somewhere, as is usual. Stop flicking around, camera. Annoying me. This is merged, right? That's merged. Okay. So where the hell's the hole? Put a hole in here somewhere. I blocked out these two blocks. So this one here has the collision right there. These do not. That should be fine. Where the hell's the hole? Where is the hole? I'll go like this to check it, but it should be fine without that. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? Where's the hole? Did I absolutely do symmetry? No. Shouldn't have a hole right here, but I'll throw that in and see if it fixes it. Yep, that fixed it. Alright. Starting to get heavy here. Just fine. I can put in, I'll do it now anyway. And then microcontrollers will end up going in here anyway, so. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, come on. Nobody wanted you to delete that. Don't do what I ask, do what I want. Let's just cut it all out right here. There we go. Oh, come on. Stop deleting random shit. Stop deleting random shit. That cut quite a bit down high where we want to cut it. Where are we at there? Nope. Nope. Do a fishing hole here. Where are we at? Nope. There. Yep. That can go all together, okay. That can go all together, alright, good. Any extraneous block we get rid of here. Alright, good. Let's see how she floats now. Some friggin' hole somewhere. The holes are driving me nuts. Keep putting a hole somewhere. Where the hell's that up here? Right. Oh, where the hell did I put this hole? I don't see it. Do not see this hole. Did I not do symmetry over here? Right here. Okay. It was one of the random cuts that I made that I didn't notice. Alright. And then I cut the corners out here of the door and the under of the door, so that's all needs to be fixed. Okay. Cut anything else random that I didn't mean to? There we go. There we go. Gain some buoyancy back and drop the center of gravity even more. So beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. So good. All right. That is good. Let's see. Stability. So let's go. I want you. Cut you. Back one. Cut you. Back one. Alright. So it's going to be altimeter in the back. So, you know, that was Erasmus. Who was asking for Oceanic, I think, for the, if it was rolling. So, let me see. So, if, as the altimeter, so we're going to use the altimeters in the back, so that as the altimeter increases, that's, we want the fin to bring us back into the water. So what we want is the, we want it to go with the arrows up like that, and then we're going to do doubles like that. And so they're going to do both pitch and roll automatically, so to make life easy there. And then we'll cut you, and we'll do wedge. There we go. Little cosmetic stuff here and there. There we go. And so what we want to do is we want to set the altimeter where we want, the altimeters in this case, where we want the height of, and we want the propellers in. I want the transom right here skimming the water. So it would go at the transom essentially. So here's the transom right there. So I'm going to go altimeters. I want 2 of them like so. And then we'll direct connect these. I might make a little bit more sophisticated later, but I have another stability system. So that will do that, and then we want tilt for the bow component. So physics sensor will go here. Okay. And that'll work with the bow component. Alright, good. Let's see. I don't know if I want to necessarily... Let me save this up. See what I have for a... what have I built recently boat-wise that I can just strip microcontrollers from? New player career build series boat. This one has a lot of what I need. So what are you? You are the engine. Engines. You are stability system. Grab that. Okay. So that's from the new player career build series. Alright. So the stability system's pretty simple in here. It's got so we have linear speed. That's for reverse. When you go in reverse, you need to flip the fins or else it's going to drag you into water. We have port altimeter. We have starboard altimeter. That's both for roll and pitch of the stern. For the bow, we want to do a tilt sensor, which is going to change to the physics sensor. So... physics sensor. Alright. And that's going to be a composite input. And I need to double check that. That is tilt. So let's go composite. And then we want local. Which tilt is it? I believe it's Z tilt 15. 15. So we want 15. I'll check it later. But physics sensor. All right, and so this goes in. We're going to read 15. All right, and that's going to go in here. So my stability system works like this. I do altimeters in the back. This gives it a really natural operation. So, for example, say you're going up a wave. The bow is going to be controlled by the tilt. The bow fin's job is to maintain level pitch. It is to make sure that we don't tilt. And so that's what the bow, and it works well because it works like gravity. The stern is all altimeter, so as you roll, one altimeter is going to go higher than the other, trying to mitigate the roll. And then you have, as you come up a wave, it's going to start to tilt up and try to force the bow down. That sticks you to the wave so you don't ramp up over it and then go off into space. And then the stern is going to try to maintain zero altitude. So it's going to keep the boat plastered against the waves. So you're going to very naturally slide up the wave. And then as you go over, if you had them both on tilt, it's going to pick the stern up out of the water, which is unnatural. And it's going to force the bow down. With this system, what it does is it forces the bow down, and it keeps the stern down too. So that makes it so that it doesn't try to plunge you through a wave. You go up and over the wave very naturally. And so this system, I think, gives you the most natural performance. So that's in. We'll plug the rest in. What are you? You are bow fins are yet to be installed. Port fins are these two Johnnies here. And then we have starboard altimeters there. And then starboard fins. We have the bow fins have yet to be hooked up. Port fins. Linear speed, I need to hook up. That's actually, we can get rid of that now. That's physics sensor. So I have to double check it. I think it's 9, but I want to double check. So 9 is, where's 9? 9 is linear velocity Z. That's correct. So linear speed here is going to change to read 9. Another great thing with the physics sensor. Physics sensor was an awesome update the devs did. So we want to hook this into here and here. And then linear speed is going to change to, we can just get rid of it. Go like this. So that chopped that panel by 2, so we just gained back 2 blocks by doing that. So, the benefit of the physics sensor. Alright. So that is in there now. And then we're going to have to reconnect some things, seeing I moved some of them. Alright, bow fins still have yet to be done. Port altimeter, we need these altimeters because they need to read different numbers in the physics sensor. It wouldn't work if I did that. That won't do roll. Yeah, physics sensor's great. I think it was an awesome addition. Alright, so now bow, we want to come in here, and I need to be able to XML a block in to cover it. So I could do there. Let's do mana. Okay, let's do here. I want to do fin. And so these, I forget which orientation these are, arrow up or arrow down. I'm going to do arrow ups. I think they're the same. But, and then I want to do them one facing one way, one the other. What will happen is the boat will want to heel to one side if you put both of the fins facing the same way, because the fins actually have more lift on one side than the other. So by doing this, it evens those out. And then I should have a block here to hide this. Okay. Type. So where are we at here? Block. I think it's this one. Yep, it's this one. There's an XML block. And then I just need to cover these two so that they don't leak. Make sure that floats. Yep, see the XML blocks, it's supposed to have a collision in the middle. It seems like it's behaving like it doesn't, which is weird. It is behaving as though it doesn't, which is weird to me. So I've never had to cover that before. Did I cut out my... Nope, okay, XML's in there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something different. Alright. You floating now, you scum? Yep. Nope. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, so it slid underwater there for a second because the fins are already doing their work. So what it does is as the boat drops in, they're trying to start to fix the height of the boat, and it drags it under for a second because it drops it a little bit above 0, and then they go down. Then when it lands, it pushes down, then they go up. So as you can see, it's sitting much more stable already. Now, it's not an active stability. It is an active stability system, but like it can't do too much here until we get moving. So like you'd want to do a moving weight, but I don't want to add any mass to this. So, you know, small boat, you expect it to kind of lean as you're going left and right. So, but you can see it's already feels much more stable with that system in. So that system's working. Engines, let's plug this in. So this is the... this is from the New Player Career Build series. We're going to run both engines at once now, and then I'll change that later. Where are you? Airfolds. Airfolds right there. So run them as one engine, then I will run independent, because I like to do asymmetrical thrust. I did one of the live videos I did a little while ago. You guys kind of saw, you know, me maneuvering with multiple engines. You really can get some... You can dock much better, you know, and it, you know, once you kind of understand the mechanics of it, it really does help. You know, like you don't need things like bow thrusters if you have, you know, asymmetrical thrust. You know, a large ship, they're definitely helpful, but reverse is going to be the rear gear set. That gives me some... So a lot of people ask why I do the two gearboxes. I do the two gearboxes because I want to have... I want to have symmetrical thrust. So if let's say I did a 3-to-1 and a 1-1, so one engine would be multiplying the propeller speed by 3 times. Then when I go in reverse, it's only a third. So it's essentially going a third the power in reverse. And so, you know, by doing it this way with the multiple gearboxes, I have the same RPS going forward and back, and so because I do a lot of asymmetrical thrust, I want even power back and forth. So I'm just reading some chat here. Okay, big forest fire near Turkey. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, there was a lot of forest. There's a lot of fires in Maui, I heard too. It's always too bad. I don't know Neotesk personally. I've talked to Neotesk a couple times, and see Neo's shorts on the YouTubes. All right, so this is plumbed in. What did I want to do? Okay, so I want to do this. I want to save this boat again. Let's save a backup. Always smart to save a backup version. There we go. And then what I want to do is, so one of the reasons I'm using stuff from the new player career build series boat is, you know, you guys can go back and watch me and, you know, do that stuff. So all I'm going to do is grab the helm. And it's just because I've already configured the helm, so it saves me some time having to go back and enter in all the, you know, make sure, you know, up, down, and WS are all configured and labeled and everything else. So I can just pull this whole helm, and it will fit for me. Go on, go down. One more. There you go. Fight with these arrows. There we go. All right, and so plumb this helm in. So the helm needs to go into the engine controller. And I think we're good to try to go give this a run. I haven't plugged into... We need to check the AD. Where you at there, guy? There it is. So we'll do a quick rudder test, and then... oh, come on, man. Okay, it's fine. It was... I was afraid we were stuck underwater again. And we'll do a quick... yep, rudder's moving the correct direction. Okay, what's up now? What is up now? Alright. Those are merged. That's merged. That is plumbed in. Plumbed in there. Let's see. Everything hooked up right. Airs. Air. Clutch. Alternators. Coolant pumps. Starters. Fuel manifold. Nope, yep, fuel manifold's correct. RPS off the 1. Coolant pump is fine. Battery I don't need right now. Oh, player sensor. I added a kill switch. If you watched that last episode of the new player career build series, I added a kill switch. So it will kill the thrust. So the engine will run, but it will zero the thrust if I'm not. I have to actually hook it up, don't I? If I'm not actually in the vicinity, so this is if you fall off the boat, it will zero out your thrust. So the boat will go for like another, you know, maybe at most, you know, 10, 15 meters, and then actually more than that, but like 30 meters, and then it will stop. All right, so we're up and running. So it's already behaving well. So I have to check the front. The front might be backwards. It seems to be pushing the front up more than it needs to. But I'm not, I actually don't mind it. It's kind of running nicely. So I have no clue what our current speed is. Let's, so we need to gear this in. So I did an episode of the new player crew build series on this, getting the gearing tuned in. And so what we'll do here is this. You know, a boat doesn't shift gears. You know, you can do whatever you want. I really don't like that personally, so I don't. But we're going to start shifting gears. And this is just to help us. It's going to save me time, so I can do my testing here. So we're going to the first gearboxes. And we're going to start at 1-1. Second ratio is going to be 6. So 1-1, 6-5. 1-1-6-5, and that will let me just switch the gear ratio. And so what we want to do is keep increasing the gear ratio until increasing the gear ratio causes to go slower. That means that the only way we can go any faster is to increase the engine power. So, because you're overloading the engines. So we're already at a pretty good speed on this. So let's see where we're at. So we're at about 30 knots presently. So now we're going faster, so we're going, what would that be? It's an extra 6 knots, something like that, so 36 knots. And I don't want these things screaming because that's going to burn fuel, cause a lot of heat, all those things. So next thing we want to do is we know, so 6.5 is 18 meters per second, so we want to go 3.2, 9.5, 3295. And eventually, like I said, once we get to the point where increasing the ratio makes us go slower, the only way to get past that is to increase the engine size. So let's go ahead and start up. So now we're at a 3.2. And we're at 23, so that's 46-ish knots. And that is, what is that, 56 knots? Right there. So we're still good to go up in ratio. Alright, so that's good. So what do we have, 28? I was at 28 last, so we need to remember 28. So 28, and this is going to be 2-1. That's going to be 5-2. 2-1. 5-2. And we're going to find that Goldilocks zone. And we're looking to beat 28. Alright, so there's 62-ish knots. Alright, and there is 74 knots. So 74 knots, not too bad. And if you notice, like, I'll turn the engine sounds up. It's not screaming in my ear. This is like when people are like, oh, everything sounds like a lawnmower. If you keep your revs down, it doesn't sound like a lawnmower. You know, that sounds nice. Still sounds meaty and diesely. And, you know, so let's kick on a little wind here. You know, so I have the volume. Like, look at my volume. See where it is? 64? And we're still fine. Alright, so notice. So the boat's behaving all right. You know, that is... What did I put the wind on? Wind is on 40%. And so what I'll do is I'll put in an anti-fly system. We might need more bow control there. We have a little bit probably low in the fins in the bow. So the other thing too is I have to see what direction those fins are going on the bow. They might be backwards. They seem to be, I don't know. I have to check the fins in the bow, but as you can see, it's behaving itself reasonably well. It needs some tweaking, but it's not terrible. So I'm thinking that we have an issue with the front is inverted. So let's fix that really quick. Alright, did I ever get to the other gear ratio? I don't think I did. Let me quickly, I need to do that test again. I want to get the gear ratios down. I'm trying to do too much at once. Let's get rid of that. Alright. Let's do one thing here. So 74 knots is more than enough. So you hear the engine's not screaming like a lawnmower, and the reason is, you know, like somebody asked, do I need that big of an engine? You know, you'll see this IRL, they'll go with a larger engine so that they can understress the engine, and they'll actually tune it down, and that saves you energy. The RPS is lower. Now, in game, we don't have to worry about having issues with it, you know, of wear and tear. So right now, 5.2 is running at about 37, so I'll write that down. 5.2 is 37 knots. 5.2 is 37 knots. Alright. So by having a larger engine here, I can put more gear in and I'm much more efficient, and I'm able to keep the RPS down, which means heating is less of a problem. Noise, I hate the buzziness. I don't want it being super buzzy. Like, this is pleasant. Like, you know, even if I turn the sounds up again, that sounds pleasant. It's not, you know, in my ear. It's pleasant. So by putting a larger engine in and understressing it, it sounds better. That's why my trucks, like, have a way oversized engine, because I want them to sound like trucks. I don't want them to sound like lawnmowers, you know, and or motorcycles, you know. So this is demon speed right here, and we could probably go up to a 3.1. So let's finish this test. I'm not going to go past that. I actually don't want to go any faster than this. This is like the most I want to be going. But if 3.1 actually makes us go slower. All right, if 3.1 makes us go slower, it will mean that it will overstress the engine, and it will make it so that we're burning less fuel, but I really don't want to do that. So let's check it. So let's see. So we're on a 3.1 now. 37 was our last speed. Now, we still could exceed it, but notice how much how much slower it takes us to accelerate. And listen how quiet the engine is. So we lost about 2 knots. 1 knot. We lost 1 knot here. And the engine is running at a much, much, much lower RPS. Let me turn up the... Hear how the engine's kind of lugging along? So the engine is lugging along, which means that it's at a low RPS, which means we're not going to burn a lot of fuel. And so these are all reasons why you want to, you know, overpower and then gear up your engines. This is much quieter. It's going to make less heat. It's going to burn less fuel. And so it's much more pleasant and it works better for us. So 3-1's the gear. This is the issue is because our speed went down, that means, okay, we're actually a little bit higher now. So we're up to like 80 miles an hour. But we have to worry about when I turn on the wind. And the reason is this. We have to set the RPS correctly. This is how you end up flying. So, or doing backflips. You'll notice a lot of people, new players, they'll backflip their boats. And the reason they're doing that is, I talked about this in another video. Let's say you set your maximum RPS to 20, and then you overgear it. Okay, that's fine, but now the engine can only go to 15 RPS because you essentially put too much load on it. All right, so you're in the water. The propeller's in the water. That's giving you load resistance, all right? And so because the propeller's in the water and it has resistance on it, the engine can only do 15 RPS, even though you're telling it to do 20. It's maxed out, right? It's like you asking somebody to bench press 15 pounds more than they've ever bench pressed. They're going to bench press slower, and they can't do as many repetitions. And so the issue becomes this. You come out of the water. So you jump over a wave, the propeller comes out of the water. Well, that's like that person's doing a bench press, and you reach over and you grab the plates, and you start pulling plates off of the bar. Well, what happens? Now they can go back to their normal reps. So before they're repping at 15 reps per second. Now they're repping at 20 reps per second. And then you throw the weight back on. You know, in real life, it would just slow you back down. In game, what happens is now you have a propeller. Right, now, I've talked about, you know, how a propeller is just a screw. And so for every 1 rotation, you're supposed to go a certain distance forward. It's like a wood screw, right? You turn that wood screw 1 rotation, it's going to go a certain depth into that wood. And that's set based on the, you know, on a screw, it's the thread pitch. On a propeller, it's the propeller pitch. And so the issue is this. You have the engine, you're going 15 RPS fast, essentially. So if for every, let's say it's a 1-to-1. So for every 15 RPS, you're going 15 meters per second, right? So for every 15 RPS, you're going 15 meters per second. Now, you jump out of the water. Now your propeller is going 20. So the propeller wants you to go 20 meters per second. And you land back in the water. And what happens is now the boat is trying to instantly gain that 5 meters per second, and it causes you to do a backflip. So the way you fix this is, if the boat is only going to go 15 meters per second, and we're going to test it here in a second, then you don't want your maximum set to be more than 15. And so that's why my boats don't do backflips. When I jump off that wave, my engine is not set to 20, and I can only do 15. My engine is set to 15. So when I jump out of the wave, I'm telling it, hey, do 15. And it jumps out of the wave, and it does 15. So the boat's doing 15, the propeller's doing 15, and when it lands back in the water, guess what? The boat still wants to do 15. It lands in the water. It doesn't want to do backflip. So we can set that up now. So let's actually set our gearboxes to 3-1s. They'll stay 3-1s. These, we can just knock those down. Doesn't matter, but we're not going to switch ratios anyway. But, you know, so what we'll do is we'll fix this by doing this. So we'll do RPS gauge. All right, so we're going to take a dial here, and I just want to read off the RPS of the engine. And so now I want to put the engine under load, which means in the water. So the propeller has something that's causing resistance on the engine. So it's like adding weight on the barbell. And we're going to go. Now, so again, we need to understand the characteristics of this. This is going to take us longer to accelerate because we are overloading the engine, essentially, right? So you'll notice we'll eventually get up there, but it's going to take us longer. So I actually might kind of go back to the other one. It's going to give us some more dynamism. You'll notice we'll get up to 30. We were up to 40 at one point, but we'll get up around 37, 40. But it's going to take us longer to get there because, again, you know, if you can normally bench press 200 pounds and I put 220 on there, you may be able to do it, but it's gonna be slower, and so it takes us longer to accelerate. So as you can see, we're up to the same speed. It took us slower to get there, so we might want to burn a little extra fuel to be able to change speed more quickly. So we're up to 40. All right, there we are, 40. Now we need to look at our RPS. So notice we're around 13 is our normal RPS. When we jump out of the water, you notice it tries to jump to 15. Now that makes sense. Again, remember, when the propeller comes out of the water, it's like pulling the weights off. It's unloaded now. All right, so if it's going to 13.2 is the number I'm seeing the most. So we can go a little over that. So let's say 13.5. All right. Now, the boat can still fly. We still have some issues we need to fix with it, but we'll fix those later. So 13.5 is where we want to be. So let's go into this engine microcontroller here. We have an extra node. No, we're going to put some extra nodes on here. All right. So what I want to do here is, actually want 2 player sensors inside. Let's do, so because the player sensor only works for each space. So inside I need a player sensor and outside I need a player sensor. All right, and so we'll add that for now. That needs to go on there anyway. And then we need to do number input. And so what I'm going to do is set my RPS. So this is set max RPS. All right. And so, you know, I talk about I artificially do low p-values. So my p-values are a little bit lower than, you know, like, you know, I've talked about before. People like, oh, I went back and I got your p-value to be exactly right. I don't need it to be exactly right because I'd prefer to do an overshoot method where I put too high of a number that it will never reach, and I know it will never reach this. So as you can see here, we're setting 20 RPS, okay? So the maximum here is 20 RPS. Now, we're never going to reach that. As you saw, we reached 13.2, and this is what causes a backflip and instability in the water is when it comes out of there, I'm still telling it to do 20, and now that it's out of the water, it's going to try to do 20, and it might be able to do it because the propeller has no resistance anymore. And so if I set that to 13, we're doing 13, we come out of the water, we're still doing 13, we land, and we do no backflip. And so what we'll do is we'll change up this function here. So pretty simple here, we'll go like this. So I'll read out to you what all this is. So clamp is clamping the number. ABS is absolute value because we only ever want a positive number going to the PID. The negative number is to tell us, is to do all the switching for reverse. As you can see, that switches us into reverse. So for example, if I go -10, I pull the throttle all the way back to reverse. I'm telling the engine I want -10. It goes in here, it gives me a +10. So my engine revs up to 10. And then because this is less than 0, it toggles my reverse. All right, so what we want to do in here is we're going to change this up. So 3.5 here, we're going to do a couple property numbers, and this way I can control it outside of the box, the microcontroller. So this one here is going to be idle, and we'll set that to where it was, 3.5, and then here is going to be max RPS. All right, and so right now we're going to set this 20 is where it was. We'll set it there for 20. But we're not going to plug that in. What we're going to do is we're going to plug in this, set max RPS, and then this one will go here. So this is now Y and Z, so this is going to be Y and Z. All right, and then this here we'll plug into there, and we'll plug into right there. Okay, and we can get rid of this one. So this way, the reason I like doing these is, for example, if I need to change something, I just come in here and I can change it. So what we're going to do is get a keypad, and now we're going to go in and set this max RPS. So we'll go keypad into there, set max RPS, bingo. All right, so before it was set to 20. All right, so I want to come in here, and I'm going to set it back to 20. I like to, first part of the test, I like to set it where it should be. We're going to go ahead and start it up where it was initially, essentially. So here we go. Okay, player sensors. Did I screw something up here? What did I screw up? Doesn't want to go forward. Let's see. I don't need the player sensor outside yet. Let's actually hook that up while we're at it. So what you can do here is take the player sensor, and I want to set it. Hemisphere is going to do just the top. Spherical is going to do all of it, and we want to go 100%. We don't want detect all. The reason we don't want detect all is, let's say that I put a rescued person on the back of this boat or inside, and I fall off. It's going to detect the NPCs, and the boat's going to keep going off into the horizon. I want to do detect players. So if I'm on the boat, it will keep running. If I fall off the boat, it will shut off. So we'll do spherical, and I'm just doing 100%. All right, and so plug that in as well, and then we'll fix it in the box here. I have to go in and see why I wasn't going forward. Why was I not going forward? Oh, I didn't plug this, and that would be why. Okay, that would be why we didn't go forward. And then player sensor, so I have one here somewhere. Right here, player sensor here. So what I need to do is, could do a bigger boolean, or what I think I'm going to do is this. We'll do another not. So, I didn't want a nor. Excuse me. Not. There we go. Let's do this. Let's get a bigger boolean. So let's do boolean. So we'll go to this big boolean here. And so these are all the conditions for us to zero our thrust. So there's a bunch of conditions. When my starter's going, it zeroes my thrust to help the engine start. If my master is off, essentially if I don't start the boat, if I shut the boat off, it automatically zeroes my thrust. If I... What is Z? Z is if I press the spacebar, it zeroes my thrust. And then the last one is if if the player sensor is not detected. So we're going to Control C this. We'll go in here, Control V, and I'll just plug these back in where they belong. So this needs to go to here. This one goes to there. This one here is 31, and then we're going to plug in these two. All right, so what we're going to do here is W is... This should be W. W and alpha. W and alpha. So what we'll do is... So not W or not alpha. Why won't it do A? I don't know. All right, so what this is going to do is... if I start it, it's going to zero the thrust. If it's not on, it's going to zero the thrust. If it is, if Z, the spacebar is pressed, it's going to zero the thrust. Or if W or alpha are not on, i.e. that I'm detected. So I just put the knots in there, so I don't need them elsewhere. And then I need to plumb this in. So this will plumb there, and this will plumb to here. And then this is now not going to want to fit, so we'll... This is already kind of a zoo, this argument here, so we'll go like that. And then this boolean can slide in there. All right. And then those are my two player sensors there. That can go. All right, so that should be good. All right, and we should be able to run now. All right, so again, we're going to set the max RPS to 20, where it was initially. Going to jump in, start it, and we'll get going. Why aren't you going now, guy? Let's see what I screwed up again. Okay. Set max RPS there is good. Clamp ABS X, Y, Z. That's fine. That's good there. Idle is fine. Set max RPS is fine. That plugs there. That plugs there. Oh, let's see. That's why. Okay, this argument screwed up here. Okay, let's try this. Let's go. Let's try that. That might work better. It's getting confused there. Yep, it was getting confused there. That logic makes more sense to it now. So I'm actually probably going to go to a 5-2 gear ratio. This accelerates slower than I'd like, which is going to make it tough to do fine controls when I'm like trying to dock and stuff. So I'll accept a little bit more fuel burn to be able to be a little bit more dynamic and be able to control it a little bit better. Alright, so here we are. We're running. We're probably up to speed now. Make sure we're up to speed. I'm going to change this in a second anyway, but okay, we're up to speed. We look at the value display, so we're at 12.8. Alright, so we're going to come in here. And I'm going to set this to 13 and make sure that doesn't go down. It does. Okay, so that's too low. So we need, let's go to 15. And so 12.8 is the target. So I'm using artificially low p-value. I want to go to 12.8. I want to keep walking this up until we get 12.8. Now, actually, I want to do this first. Let's do this. I don't like that 3-to-1 gear ratio. I don't like the way it's behaving. Like, you know, it's not reactive enough. It's too slow. So I want to go 5-2. 5-2 felt better to me. I can do some better maneuvering, and I can get the boat to accelerate a little bit faster at the cost of a little bit of fuel burn. That's not a big deal. So let's. All right. So we need to run this again. That's a 20. This is going to run better too by under-stressing the engine just a little bit, or under-stressing it a little bit. Under-restricting, that's probably a better way to put it. Alright, so we're at 15.2. Now, if I lower, can I lower this, is the question. So 15.1, let's lower this a little bit. Let's go 19. Alright, so I can't really lower that because I have that artificially low number, so let's go 20. We might be alright. Let's check it. So there's a couple things I need to check here. Let's see. Alright, so we'll leave that for now. The issue is I could increase my p-value to fix this, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's bring this back. So what's happening is I have that artificially low p-value, so I need an artificially high RPS value. So that's actually about set right. So that's about right. Having it it's about 5 RPS over. You know, if you had it where it was really revving up, like you'll hear some people's builds that do the backflip. They'll come out of the water and you hear the engine go, wah, it will rev way up. That's what's causing the backflip. You notice mine doesn't rev way up. If, let's say I set this to 30 RPS, it would do it then. If I set this to 30, that would be double what it's giving me. And as soon as I come out of the water, it would rev up to 30, splash down in the water, and it would do a backflip. And so, you know, so mine's already pretty much set up correctly at 20. So I don't really need to fix that. That's actually kind of on the good side. And then to check these are back to 5.2s. Okay, that's good. All right, next thing I need to do, I need to test the bow fins. These bow fins, I have a suspicion are acting correctly. So up is, so a positive value is dragging the bow down. So positive value is bringing the bow down. So what we want to do here is, they're disconnected. That would be why we're not having any bow action there, is they're not connected. All right, let's test this out now that they're actually connected and see if they behave. So that was just with stern fins. So let's see what it acts like with bow fins. Oh, I need to fix this. So I need to come back in here. Remember, I deleted that keypad, so this needs to come in here. The set max RPS now is, we can get rid of this. So the set max RPS is now, what did I just do? Oh, here's property number. So 20 is fine. This needs to go in there, and then that will drag like that. All right, good. So that is set up correctly now. What is down here that is okay? That will straighten up. Beautiful. All right, so this is now set up right, and this allows me to change my idle or max RPS from outside the panel. All right, so now the bow is connected, and what I want to do is whatever I'm feeding these bow fins, I want to double check, make sure it's correct by reading the dial. And so we'll work on the stability a little bit. So I had no bow control. Like you saw when I put the wind up to like whatever it was, 60%, it did fly, and that's because the bow fins weren't connected. So, okay. What did I just screw up? I just screwed something up here. Ugh. What did I just screw up here? Idle max RPS there. Okay, that should be running correctly now. Why is it not? Max RPS is 20. That's fine. Idle is 3.5. Those are plugged in. That's fine. I didn't delete anything, so let's see why it doesn't want to behave itself. Merged. Okay, that is plugged. That's fins, bow fins there. Okay. Check all these, make sure something didn't get disconnected. All right, spawn it, see what's up. All right. I think it was just I didn't have enough patience and didn't press the 6 long enough. All right, so you notice we accelerate faster now. That 5.2. I might even want to go lower than the 5.2, but we'll see. All right, so notice we're a lot slower now, and that's because the bow is being pulled into the water. And so it's keeping us more stable. What we could do is put in a correction there. And if I put the correction in, that's going to help us go faster because we'll come out of the water. Now we're a lot more stable now. So we're going 40 knots, which I'm perfectly happy with. But we're, you know, we're quite a bit slower. It's more realistic, and that's because the bow isn't coming out of the water. But we can set that to come out a little bit more if we want for a little bit more speed. But we should be much more stable, which makes everything a lot better. So here is what I put in for wind. What did I put in for wind? There's 62% wind. Notice how much more stably this works through the water now. And so the reason this acts, so it's acting very realistic, you notice it comes up over the wave, it doesn't crash through it. Some people's systems will crash through the waves. This system doesn't do that, it goes up naturally. So as the bow goes up over the wave, it tries to pull it down. And you notice we don't get any crazy backflips or anything. The props are out of the water, which I'm not thrilled with, so I kind of need to get that stern down. But as the wind gets up, it's kind of hard to get that to work right without causing issues while you're going slower. See, it's pulling those props out, and it's causing us to lose a little speed in the water. But you notice it's handling the waves really well. Let's go, not that this needs max wind, but we might as well throw it on. And so the stern always wants to stay in the water. That's its job. Stay in the water, stay in the water, stay in the water. The bow just wants to keep us level, so you notice even with 100% wind, it doesn't nosedive into the water. It stays nice and stable, and it's not, you know, we're not going to lose this boat if the wind goes up, essentially. See, watch. See, it has no problems because the bow's job is level, and the stern's job is to keep it, the stern down. So if I did them both with the bow's job, what would happen is we'd do a front flip. By doing it this way, the stern just wants to stay down, and the bow wants to correct itself, and so it floats like a leaf down. So there's a big one to see. As you can see, look at that. No problems whatsoever. So this is why I think this is the ideal system. To do stern with altimeters and to do the bow with a tilt sensor is, you notice how insanity this is, where we get way out of the waves. As you notice, we would not lose this boat if we had a storm in game. See how it behaves perfectly. It's like my hands have been off the controls. I haven't touched it since I pretty much went into third person. There's a big one. You see, it's just like, you know, nothing bad happens. You know, so it just behaves itself. So one thing I want to do is probably drag that stern down. We can play with this a little bit, so let's play with the speed a little bit. So my speed test got screwed up because I didn't hook up the the bow fins, which I thought I did, and then I didn't. All right, so we know the stability system works really well. We have to go back, and we have to go play with the gearing again. So where are we at here? We're going to toggle. So likely what's going to happen is if I go up in gear ratio, it is going to not help us. I need that propeller to spin up. Let's try, what we'll do is we'll knock this back to, we know 5.2 is giving us about 21 meters per second now, which again, that's perfectly fine speed. It's 21, which is about 42 knots, which I'm perfectly happy with. But we'll knock it back down to a 9.521. We'll do 9.521. 9.521, and we'll hook the toggle back up, and we'll go try to get some, try to get our best speed out of this again, and see what gear ratio works best, because the bow is not being allowed to come up out of the water, and so it's a sacrifice, speed for stability, and I prefer stability over speed. So let's see where we're at here. Alright, so as you notice, we're going up in speed as I predicted, so that's 24. Potentially we could go a little faster if I up gear this, but I doubt it. I think we're going to want to go in the direction of down gearing. So there's 24, because we want the RPM on the engine to come up. And that's actually a little bit faster. It's not a hair faster. Let's see. Alright, so this might be our Goldilocks right here. That could be our Goldilocks right there. What is that? Did I do it backwards? I can't remember. I have to bring it back. Second ratio is giving us 26. So let me see. I might have done it backwards. Second ratio, yeah. I did it backwards. I'm walking down. I should be doing it the other way. So second ratio is a 2-1. Okay. So 2-1 seems to be the best for us probably here. So let's run 2 1s on this, and I think that's probably a good speed for me. That's pushing 50, that's over 50 knots. That is pretty good. You know, I purposely don't want my stuff going as fast as some people do. I already have a boat that goes 80 miles an hour, so I don't need to make this faster than that. I'd rather pull that boat out. You know, so this is a realistic speed for a boat like this. I should have hooked up the RPS again. So this should be ultra stable. So one thing you notice is the propellers are right where they belong until the wind gets insane. So let's say like a normal wind and be like 30. As you can see, yeah, see the propellers are fine. You'll get this issue with the way the game does the waves. It almost it troughs them behind you. So you notice propellers are staying perfectly in the water right where we want them, because the altimeter is setting right here as the zero height, so it's doing that. So that's fine. I think this is going to work in most cases for us. You notice it behaves beautifully in the water. Let's turn it. You know, it's like it's on rails. You know, like now sometimes I like it to be a little bit more sloppy than that and to roll, but as you notice, it's on rails. You know, so this is ultra stable, and we're getting about 50 knots on this. So I'm happy with the speed. I'm happy with the way it looks. So I think this is becoming a successful boat. I think this is coming along. I like this. So this is going to be our new rescue boat. Let me check chat. Chat's been a little quiet, so. Yeah, that's, I'm just reading Rasmus' comment. He says he has an RPS limiter set to 0 if it hits that limit. I do something similar here. Let me do my anti-fly system. So often what I'll do is an anti-fly system. And so if the boat flies, now you see it's behaving properly. But you notice when it was in 100% wind, it kept wanting to fly. I don't like that. It's not realistic to me. It looks funky. It looks weird. It's gross. And so what I do is an anti-fly system. And so right here on this here, what we'll do is we'll come in, we'll grab a Boolean. And so this is the way I like to do it. So just grab a Boolean here, and I'll just do X or Y or Z or W. And we'll plug in this threshold. So this is my S key, essentially. My S key controlling the my throttle. And what I'll do is there a physics sensor hooked in here? No physics sensor hooked in here, so we hook the physics sensor up. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I usually do it with the altimeter. So if the altimeter goes over a certain range, so we'll just change that to physics sensor. So composite input sensor, and like just 1. So if it's greater than 1 meter, I can change this. So anti-fly. You can also do it with a water sensor. So if the if it comes out of the water, yeah, anti-fly, alt. So we'll do 1 meter. All right. So if and then where the physics sensor come in, I need to double check the altimeter, what value that is. So it is, it's going to be 2. So 2 is going to be the position on that. So we read number 2 off the physics sensor. And then what we do is just plug it in there. So this will be here. I just had the greater than. Where did I put it? Right here. Okay. Greater than, that plugs in there. And then so if the altimeter reads greater than 1 meter, it's going to just tap down the thrust. So what it's going to do is it's going to reduce the thrust for us. Because what would you do in real life if you start jumping a boat out of the water and slamming down and breaking your spine? You would pull the thrust back a little bit, so you're not ramping up and over the waves. And so this is just doing that for us, essentially. All right. So let's go. And so I'll turn the engine sounds up so you can hear what it does. So that's another thing what Rasmus was talking about. I've done that in the past. You do an interrupter, and it just interrupts the pit, and it goes wow, wow, wow the whole time. This one just, it's like me tapping the thrust down. It just does it for me. And the reason, like some of the stuff, like I'm not a huge fan of automation, but the reason I automate this stuff is because I'm trying to make it work realistically. So it's like, you know, the stability system of my cars is automatic because I want the car to behave like a real car would, and it would have gyroscopes for wheels, and that would, you know, keep it stable. And so I'm automating I'm essentially making gravity, or making, you know, G-forces, or in this case, I'm making the gravity work like real, so that it would, you know, not fly a boat. It would, you know, glide across the waves. So let's go ahead and up the wind. So is that 100% wind? So here it killed my thrust. It just cut the thrust down. Now I can push it back up, which I'm doing. I'm pushing the thrust back up. But it's going to automatically reduce. Now 100% wind is nuts. This boat wouldn't be out on 100% wind. Let's go 60, say. So 60, you're going to get a better test, because if it comes out of the water a little bit, 60 is probably too low. If it comes out of the water, it's going to just reduce the thrust a little bit. So let's go up higher. Let's go to like 80. All right, right there. All right, so see, it cut the thrust quite a bit there. So I could blink it if I wanted, but what it's going to do is it's going to keep me from doing really crazy nonsense. If I jump out of the water, it's going to automatically push my thrust down, and then I have to manually push it back up. So I have to make a decision to continue operating like a dummy. See, this is an annoying thing the wind does. Is it's keeping this, you know, this is the reason why. Here, let me see if I can pause it where you can see it. This is what the game does. So the game is doing this. So it's reading the altitude globally, And so the global altitude is right here. And so what's happening is the boat's saying, okay, I want to be here. The issue is this: when you go to a certain wind value, it makes the waves taller this way, but also lower this way. And so it resets the sea level. Instead of adding the waves on top of sea level, it is also going down. And so the boat wants to stay here where sea level is, instead of going where it should be. Now you could, theoretically, I might be able to do this with meters, and you put 2 meters here, and if the meter comes out, but then you can't maintain the depth, so it's a little bit funky. I could add something where it adds a little bit of fin if the water meters are out of the water, but generally, again, trying to get this perfect for all conditions. One, I don't really care, because if the weather is really bad, I'm not going to be operating this boat. I'll go take something bigger, and so, like, we're at 80, 77, let's go down to 60, and you notice at 60, it pretty much behaves perfectly. There's really, so you have to kind of think about it. How crazy do you want to go? Do I need to, engineer this thing for 20 more hours to make it perfect in every condition that I'm probably never going to go out in? So for me personally, if I had really rough conditions, I wouldn't be taking this boat. I'd take a different boat. And so that's kind of the thought process, is, to try to make something work in every condition, where you might just say, okay, this boat's not for that. It's kind of like, would it be nice if this went 70? Actually, no, I'm not. I'd rather this go 50 than 70, because that's what this boat's job is to be kind of, it's fast, but it's not blazing fast. And so when we go out, let's say I want to go out in 60 knot weather as fast as humanly possible, I would take a different boat. And so I have a boat for that. And that's kind of the thing, is I don't want to build, I've talked about this before, I don't want to build something that does everything, because then why build something else? And so this boat has its job. And then, for example, if we did, so like the best boat I have for this is the Vice boat. It's too large for this. Let's see, does the other one fit in here? Maybe a cigarette. Yeah, so here's the, where's the other one? A race boat. Here it is. So, like, this is the 38 race boat. It fits in this dock. This goes 80. This is designed for, to be able to operate in rougher seas and go fast. So I would take this. So, I don't use this boat much. And so this now gives me a reason to use this boat. I have to fix something. Here, it's an electrical problem, if I remember. I don't know. There's something wrong with this. I fixed it before and then forgot to save it. But this boat will do 80 if it's not acting up. And so I take this boat. And so that's kind of why I build some liabilities and some shortcomings in some of my craft, is I want to be able to have a reason to use some of my other crafts. So, for example, let's go over here. Where do we have a dock that's bought? Let's go here. So, like, take the Vice boat out. So the Vice boat, which eventually I want to paint, when it's finished, I want to paint it back to a normal livery so I can use it in non-Vice context. But, like, the Vice boat is my best, bad weather, high-speed boat. And that's what it's designed for. So it gives me a reason to use it. These on? They're on. Okay. No, they're not. Why the hell are these engines not on? Nothing is working today. No, they're running. Oh, you know what it is? I know. It's my brain is why. As I have this as up down. WS is #1 engine. The #2 engine is 3 and 4, and the and my starboard engine is up down. So I have a funky control scheme here. I forgot about. There we go. So this boat is designed to like be able to go on 100% wind at insanity speeds. So, if I made the other boat go insanity speeds, I'd have no reason to run this, or no reason to build it 100% wind. Just kind of hates it. But let's go down a little bit. So like this can go 100 miles an hour, 100 knots, you know, in this type of weather. You know, and that's what this is designed for. So I don't need the other boat to go that speed. I'd take something else if I wanted to. You know, so that's kind of what this boat's designed for. And I'd rather that boat be stable than ultra speed, so... You know, just kind of why, you know, I don't want it to do everything is... You know, it gives me a reason to use something else. Alright, let's try to clean that up a little bit. Let's check some chat. I'm just reading some of this chat. I'm catching up. Why would I need to cool the boat in the air like that? No need for that. Yeah, I don't need that. That's excessive over-engineering for no reason. I shouldn't be jumping out of the water. I should be keeping it in the water, is the goal. And I don't find much use in planning for like 1%. You know, you spend 100 hours engineering for that 1% use case, and I don't do that. You know, I plan it for the 90% use case. You know, 90% what it's going to be spending its time doing. All right, back from some VR. I don't know why chat jumps like that. It's annoying. It like drags my chat all the way to the bottom. Yeah, playing too much VR, I start getting nauseous. Alright, so let's see. Kind of dress this boat up a little bit. So I put a lot of extra space on this engine microcontroller. Does it need anything else? I don't think it does. Hopefully it doesn't. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to update this. This one's pretty good to go. We're going to take this panel, we're going to copy it. I'm going to move it here. Paste, paste. I need to hook everything up. I want independent controls on either engine. So that's going to be engine over here now. Physics sensor. And then we'll start hooking this up. So RPS is going to go here. And this way, this will give me independent control of my engines. So I can do asymmetrical thrust and whatnots. Coolant pump is there. Reverse. Alternator. Coolant pump. I already did coolant pump, didn't I? Coolant pump right there. I didn't hook it up correctly, so I'm glad I fixed it. What's this? Coolant pump. Okay, that's good. Clutch there. Air manifold is there. Starter right there. Player sensor outside. Player sensor inside. Battery. I need to put batteries in at some point. I don't have them in yet. All right, and then we're going to go in the panel. We're going to make the only change we really need to. So in here, it's going to be channel 4 is up down. So 4 is up down. So now the right screw is run with up down. So we need to check it. So up down is going to be reset 100%. So this is star throttle, and then this is going to be throttle port. Okay, and try to get them to look the same here. All right, port throttle and starboard throttle are now hooked up like that. So that should be the only change for right now. So let's just go check it. I'm just going to get rid of wind. But, you know, you go out in really bad seas, you'd want a bigger boat anyway, so. Okay, so I'm running on one screw. I forgot to push up the other side. So here's the other side. Alright, so now I have asymmetrical thrust. There we go, 50 knots. Pretty good. Alright, good. And so 0. I'm just trying to see what's up with why my starboard's not going in reverse here. So something screwy, I need to fix reverse here. What's up with reverse? Alright, the boat's going forward, so I need to... Too far away from the dock. I need to recall it. Reverse isn't working right now, so I need to check them. Be wide. Never set the reverse. The reverse is set now. Okay. We have reverse now. We'll do a right-hand turn with asymmetrical thrust. So it's probably too low of a set point on there. Yeah, it doesn't want to rev up. So what I need to make it symmetrical. So the negative range here is going to be -20 as well. All right. That will fix that. Okay. All right, so this is a good size too. You know, I wanted to be able to put this on a trailer and pull it behind a truck or something, put it in the water, so that's going to fix that. Why is this not revving up is the question. Does not want to rev up in reverse. Might have to drop a gear ratio anyway to cut the resistance on this a little bit. All right, let's drop a gear on these anyway. So let's do 2-1 down to 9.5s, I think. I think I'm overloading the engine a little bit more than I'd like. Alright, spin in reverse. I need to play with this, see why it's not doing this. But let's get a door controller banged in here really quick. We'll take a little break from working on that engine. I'm going to kind of wrap up here and take a break for a little while, but I want to get this door done. But good progress on this, so I'll have a little rescue boat that I can trailer in and out. So let's just do this. Let's get out of there. Let's save this. This is going to have all the features of the... It's going to have all the features of this amphib anyway. So I need to find the controller for this door on this amphib that has the same controls. What is that? Where is it? Right here. All right, so we'll copy this. Actually, cut it. Cut that, and then I'll drag in the controls too. So, all right, get out of there, you devil. Cut these that way up. Oh my God, what just happened? Oh, you're killing me here, Vern. There we go. Cut that. Pull it out. I pushed it too far back and it deleted it. Cut those. That's gonna be my controllers for the door. So if I cut them, they keep all the connections when I move them. So cut that. I'll put that door controller right in the boat instead of me rebuilding it. A little bit low for the exterior button, but it's not the end of the world. I need to hook up the seal. And I need a water sensor. So seal goes to... Where the hell is it? Right there. Seal. Hinge. Water sensor. So... Find a place to stick a water sensor. There we go. Alright. And so that should take care of the door. Alright, so it's not going to like it with it being this close to the water that it's not going to want to open that up. So let's go ahead and unplug the water sensor for now. Because I don't think this will not sync with the door open as long as... Why is this not rotating? That doesn't... I unhooked the hinge again for the like the ninth time. What the hell? Alright, that is the water sensor because it's right on the water line. So. Alright, so I'm not worried about this flooding, really. So we probably will not put a flood protection in there because it will be able to go in and out. The problem is if this were to flood and I close the room. So as long as it stays open, we should be fine. Spacing-wise is good. Like, I can look behind me. I can... So, good space. I can see out the back. I'm going to fix this listing. Like, see the water come in, that's fine as long as it runs back out. It's not a problem. So... Alright, good. So that works. We're going to put in microcontrollers in the floor. That's going to give us even more buoyancy, so I don't have to worry about that. That's going to raise us up even more. And I'll cut out some excess weight in here. It's just currently I haven't done that, so. I'm just checking chat. Okay. So let's see. What do I want to do here? I want to wrap up here in a second, but I'm trying to decide. I want to get... so we have a little bit of an imbalance, a little bit of a... what is this? Okay, I know what that is. We have a little bit of a list problem, and so we're going to fix that. So I was kind of thinking it would be kind of cool to do a pendulum, but I'd have to get it even equidistant from the... I have to get it equidistant from the center, so let's see. Or I could do a linear track. Let's try something. We'll try a different system that I haven't used before. This would be kind of interesting. So, and we're never going to go down in this area probably, so I don't need to make this look good or look realistic. So what we'll do is this. Put in a pivot. Pivot right there is good. Okay. Put in a pivot, and then what we'll do is we will take a battle cannon piece. I'll take a space first. So I want a block. Take a battle cannon piece. Is this the right one? No, it is not. I always grab the wrong one. All right, so take a battle cannon piece, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the spacer. All right. And then what I want to do is I have this here. So what's my lateral tilt? So we have where is it? Tilt, 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 tilt. So it's going to be X, which is 16. Okay. So where's my stability? Right here. So we're going to add 2 nodes on there. Logic. It's just going to be the 1 coming out, but that's going to be number output to roll weight. All right. And so what we'll do is come in here. PID. be there. Okay. And what I want to do here is physics sensor is going to be, I just looked at it, 16, 16, 16, before I forget again for the 900th time, 16. 16 is going to be the process variable. And then what is this? What is channel 9? What is that all about? I don't even know. Oh, that's reverse. Okay. And then what is this? If, okay, so this only does the stability system when we're moving, that one. And so what we'll do is this is a constant on for now. And then I'll grab that. I already did that. Let's see. This is going to be p-value, roll weight. Try 1. All right. And so this is going to articulate that weight to do balance. And this is good for when we're stopped. Yeah, I'm not going to use pivots to raise it. I don't want artificially high. I'd use the rocket instead of pivots anyways if I was going to do it, but I'm not gonna raise it with that. I can replace all of this decking with microcontrollers. That will give me some height. What am I doing here? Why did I just do that? What am I doing here? I'm getting distracted here. There we go. All right, so that pivot's going to move left, right, theoretically. Maybe I'm just going to put a window right above it so I can see what it's doing. Okay, where is it? Right there. Okay. Let's check it. Merge, that's good. Is it plugged in? It's plugged in. Okay, tilt sensor is correct. And I'm just going to go extreme on it. So I'm going to go way, way high on the p-value. And we'll make it 1,000. That way it's just going to quickly go one side or the other. Okay, so you see it's going... I can't tell which... Did I put a velocity pivot in there? No. Okay, so it's going the wrong way. It's going the opposite direction. Okay. So it's going the opposite direction of where it should be going, and I'm going to move this pivot back 1. Okay. All right, so it's going the opposite direction, so I need to just... I'm going to flip the pivot. And now I just forgot which way it was. Okay. All right. There we go. I double tapped it, and then I couldn't remember which way it was supposed to be. Okay. All right, so now, because I set it to 1,000, it's going to way overreact. So you notice we're a little bit listing to the right, and you can see it going all the way left, and nothing is happening. So that means it's not heavy enough. So that's fine. What we can do is go like that. And then I have to limit it if I do this much weight on it. Let's see, what can we do? Maybe 30 degrees. I don't know. So this is kind of a little bit of a goofy system, just to kind of, I want to do something different, but I can change it to be a little bit more conventional. I want it to be symmetrical anyway, so we'll do a max min, say, I don't know, 0.25 maybe. I'll change it to a more conventional system if this doesn't work. So now I can't turn the full range here. There we go. So it's going the correct direction. If I stand on this side, it is all the way to the left. And it's still not enough, so this system's not going to work. I just want to try a pendulum, see if it would work. But I don't have the headspace for a pendulum, so we'll do linear track on this. That just works. We know it works, so. Okay. And let's do a pipe's gonna screw me up, so I need to reroute the pipe. Need to reroute the pipe. That's annoying, but oh, I cut a pipe out here. That's just my fuel filler. It's not the end of the world. I'm gonna cut that fuel filler out for now. And I'll reroute it through the wall. All right, and let's see. I'm gonna get that low, so actually it'll be fine. We'll get it low right here. All right, that will hit those pipes there, so. So we'll go to max of here for now, and then I'll change this later. All right, we'll see what direction this goes. Make sure this goes in the right direction. All right, so it's in the right direction. It's not heavy enough. No, it's not bad. It's close. It's very close to where it needs to be. Very close to where it needs to be. So I'll reroute the piping now. Okay. That will do it. Okay, right there. Okay, that'll work. All right, that gives me the space I need. And then what do I have? Gappage of, I have a 2 gap, which I now don't have, which is fine. Let's double this up. All right, let's run this, see how that stabilizes me. All right, there we go. It's moving, and that appears to be good. So that's good. So that's now more of our sitting stability system. The 1,000 is nuts, but it's that needs to be tuned in. 1,000 actually not too bad right now. So let's make sure it doesn't upset everything. Alright, so just make sure it doesn't upset things. Doesn't appear to be. Nope. Yeah, it's a little bit high P value. I'll have to tune that in, but that's working pretty well. And so that's mainly for when we're sitting still. That's kind of in place. That's just because in game it doesn't like this thin of a boat, so it's gonna that weight's gonna go back to correct roll. So, and then as I walk around in here, that weight is gonna counter me the whole time. So keep it kind of flat while we're working. So that's good. All right, bring this back, and then I'll probably do one more thing, and I'll take a break. All right, you're going Citrus. See you later, Citrus. For building a rescue boat, just a smallish rescue boat. So this is moving in the right direction. I'll keep that glass in there just for the. I'll leave the glass in there right now for the testing when I have to tune that in. Let's go you right here. Put this there. All right, and let's rip out this back here. And let's get this mass down. So let's do. So let's check it. It's 2092. Okay, so 2092. And let's see what the width is on this. Talking 9. Okay. All right, and what are we looking at here? We have a. That's going to be 12. Okay. All right, so that gives us a little bit more buoyancy, it's looking like. Let's check it. I don't know if it is or not. Let me check. Oh, nope, that's actually heavier than the blocks were. All right, that's heavier than the blocks were. Never mind then. Yeah, that's heavier. Interesting. I thought it was lighter. It's going to be heavier. Very interesting. So let's see what a strip. Let's. Oh, come on. Let me do that. Let's see. 2038. Wedges help compared to regular blocks. 2044. I keep hitting the wrong buttons here. I'm gonna need to take a break. I'm starting to hit the wrong buttons here. Okay. Yeah, it gives you more volume. It's not giving you less mass. So what are we at? 2146. Okay. What are the wedges weighing? Yeah, this works for volume, but I can't remember if it works for mass. Need to do the test regardless because this is how I remember things. So. Oh my god, will you just click where I want you to there, thing? Go. Okay, so a little bit lighter. All right. I was trying to avoid putting in any sort of rocket glitch. I don't really need it. Like, it's not floating badly, but I would just like a little bit out of it. Where's CG? CG is right there. CG is right there. Of course, it's right on the player sensor. So let me move the player sensor. I'm gonna do under deck, front and back. I find doing multiples helps better. I like the way multiples are better, I think. I don't need a ton. I just want a tiny little bit of buoyancy add. All right. Let's open this up. All right, where are you at there, guy? All right, let's fix this. So Control F, rocket. I didn't change them, so I gotta fix them first here. Let's go. Where are we at here? 0.99, 0.99, save that. All right. Rocket, solid rocket, small. Where's 0.99? Right there. Let's do negative 100, see what that does. Right. That'll work from there. Alright, so that's better. I do need to worry about how's it going to behave in the wind, though. So that is keeping us feet dry a little bit better. Alright, that's keeping us feet dry a little bit better. Let's go ahead. Throw some wind on. I'm dropping the mass by, I don't know if it's linear. I don't know what the mass is on that, but drops it a little bit. Let's kick some wind on it. I just want to make sure, again, performance is most important to me. 100% wind's kind of nuts. We don't really care too much about 100% wind. I care up to about 60 in this particular boat. Like, Triton has to behave and behaves fine in 100% wind. It needs to. This does not. So this is about, I'm saying about 60 on this one. I'm happy, so. And the anti-fly pushed my throttle down. That's why we stopped. Alright, so it still seems to be behaving itself fine with 60, so I'm happy with that. Alright, so it's behaving itself. Let's do some turns. So yeah, that little bit of rocket I think is not offensive. It works pretty well. Working really well in this weather. 50 knots max speed is pretty good. I'm happy with this boat. So I think this boat's coming along well. So this is going to be a fun little boat. I think it does everything I need it to do. It looks good. It doesn't have to be artificially fat to be able to to deal with some of the buoyancy issues. I think it's stylish. It's going to do its job, job just being, it's not insanely fast, but it's a fast rescue boat. It can go out there, go do some rescues, and why the bow is diving a little bit on me is probably the tilt, I'd say, but that's fine. So it looks pretty good. I think it's just we have a following sea. It's actually level, but with the following sea, it looked like it was diving in. So I'm happy with this boat. So I think this was a, this was a worthwhile project to get this going, and because I pretty much had no rescue boat, and so if I wanted to go do a quick rescue, I couldn't really do it. So this is good. I think this boat's going to be good. So let's go ahead and I will save it, and then I think I'm going to take a break. I need to go for my walk. Alright, so yeah, so I think this turned out pretty well. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to take a quick screen grab of this, and I need to change the thumbnail up for the video. So that little bit of extra buoyancy is helping with, you know, keeping it on the dry end when we're, you know, in there. And it's just, you know, of course in real life we'd never get that. That's just a thing with the game, that the game wants to do that to us. And so it's kind of, have to kind of use some tricks to try to get around it, but it's not too bad. I think it's, I think this boat's shaped up pretty well here, so I'm digging on it. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and I will see you in the next one.